Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back here to Big Go Belt Media for another recap review show from Power Book to Ghost. The final season 4. We are one stop away to the end of this train ride. It's Nigeria, it's my boy Lucas, ready to do what we do each and every week, but doing it live with you all once again. Sir Lucas, how you doing, my brother? Peace and blessings.
Hey man, get my voice together. Yeah, I'm good. We here to talk about this episode, and that's how I'm gonna put it. And you should tell by the tone of my voice what I thought about this episode and Monet Wick, how everything went down.
Yeah, we this has been a different week for us because we usually never talk about the episode. We usually bring it all to the show. And I think I kind of opened up the floodgates a little bit with a comment, and I think that turned into probably like a 40-minute conversation about our things about this episode, but I'm sure we're going to reiterate it all tonight. But yeah, anybody that's joining us on this lovely Monday night, we appreciate you coming through. Absolutely be a part of the conversation tonight by joining us in the chat. If you are watching along on X, because I do not think X allows you to comment, join us on YouTube at Big O Belt Media. Get in the comments there, be a part of the conversations, and obviously we will prioritize all super chats tonight. Yeah, Monet Wick. Let's talk about the two biggest things before we actually go down the episode here. Now, obviously Monet's death is the big thing. It's so big that I feel that's the determining factor why Stars didn't want to let this episode get out early to press. And if that's their decision, obviously we respect that. But for me, and then you, should I say, because we talked about this, was it a big enough reason to hold the episode back from press? Was it a big enough factor in the episode to hold the episode back from press? And yes, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
None.
Because niggas die every day be on this show. So it didn't make a difference.
And how about characters you actually like die often on this show? And Monet just ain't one of those characters. So I mean, I understand it's a big name.
Yeah.
And because it's a big name, you want to hold that back a little bit. But I mean, you foreshadowed her death at the beginning of the episode when she was acting nice. You knew then, like, okay, yeah, she's not making it out this episode. They gave the little family hug scene. I said, oh damn. So they really gonna kill her this episode. It wasn't worth the holding back of stuff. But I understand why you do it, because unfortunately, it's a lot of people who are credited who feel the need to clout chase and spoil everything humanly possible. So because we went through this with the end of BMF with them, we went through this with the end of the prior season. Was it Force when they shut everybody out? But we wanted a few people that they're like, oh no, y'all are good, but the rest of these people can't get this episode. But that's because it's so many people in press who just want to clout chase, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
like you can't do that. Like, and in the end, we come up here, we talk, we make it seem like an environment where it's encompassing. I don't know. I think that's the word, but it makes it feel like the audience is with us. Well, y'all are watching it with us. We don't take the time that we do when we normally break down movies and other stuff with our recap reviews, because we wanted to seem more personable.
It's a space, man. I know people go out the word community, and you can probably use that too, but we try to create a space, man. Everybody to come through, be a part of the conversation, get your points in, steer our conversation in whatever direction you may have there. But I that's always been the goal here. We could literally be Mr. Know-it-alls and all that other good stuff, but I like the fact that we didn't get names right for a season, or we forgot this and that. You all are like, don't y'all remember? But hey, that's why we all fam here.
I about to say, if we wanted to, we could be correct on everything human. But it wouldn't be fun, and it wouldn't be authentic, because I think you can tell when someone has researched what they're talking about and then they talk about it versus two people who just hop on and be like, you know what, we watched the episode and we ain't gonna talk about nothing else. Like, we're not even gonna converse with each other normally besides this week.
If there wasn't power, if there wasn't power in that, then a lot of the folks, such as like Power is Fire and all the fan groups and so on and the Facebook stuff, they wouldn't have a following if everybody just went out there just wanting to be like Mr. Know-it-all. Everybody wants to be making community. Anyway, speaking of community, what's up to everybody coming through tonight? Toxic Key, or is that that's the Jersey, New York call. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Let's Toast Media. We here. Damn, I made a live. You did, brother. You did. Nikki be me. The theme music help. I mean, yeah, you can never go wrong with some Pac there. I wasn't expecting that. I guess they might have dug into the budget a little bit to clear that one,
Nah, I know what happened. just my point of view. We know who Murray's associated with, and it's a good chance that was a different song. And they said, "Yeah, nah, we're gonna have to cut that other song." Like, some tells me that was Victory at first, and then they was like, "Yeah, nah, we can't play Victory right now."
Let me be honest and first say that, like, I did not have Mary J as the person I thought was going to die because they already foreshadowed it. I mean, they already played with it earlier in this season, and I don't think it sort of caught us in the feelings. And then when we came back for the second half and she was alive, I don't think it worked. Or was that the beginning of the season? I forget.
It's the beginning of the season.
Beginning of the season, when she started seeing like Ghost
literally
Mecha,
just killed her, and then all of a, you would think from a storytelling standpoint, she would be the last person you would want to get rid of because no one cared really the first time.
Yeah, that's why I still feel very righteous in saying, like, I did not think that she was going to be the one to die. It didn't work when they hinted at that with a cliffhanger at the end of season 3. She came back season 4, wasn't really a big talking point. I think more people were talking about the fourth season being split in halves than her actually surviving.
Exactly.
But there's that. So my first question I want to get to you all, we're going to get started going through the episode a little bit, but I want to hit some of the things everybody's been talking about here. I'm hearing hot takes that people said that this death hit them as hard as Raina and as hard as Proctor's death. I didn't feel that way by any means. Even Raina, who y'all know I religiously say I don't care about, I would say that her death absolutely was a big shocking factor, way more than Monet, with, as Lucas knows, my least favorite element and trope of all of entertainment, both movies and television, is the superhero complex. When you have to go out there and some reason die for no apparent reason. Because did she have to die when Drew and Diana was right behind her? And it's not that she didn't know it, because Drew and Diana says we're going in there together. And for whatever reason, she felt like, since I've been Monet Payne today and been locked in, and apparently I can't miss, and I'm just like the most stone cold assassin ever. Oh, what's just one more? You know what I mean? So I honestly, for her, her whole scene dying, it did not catch me by the feels at all. And I think, as I told Lucas again, I said, I think it would have even been a little bit more, I think it would have made a little bit more sense if one of the henchmen or whoever, even Noma, pointed a gun directly at Kane on the ground. And she decided this is going to be life or death situation. I need to step out and do something. But the fact that all of them was pointing at her and he was just on the ground, just kind of, commentary and everything, it just didn't work for me. I felt like the death didn't make sense. And honestly, if she had waited just 10 more seconds, Drew and Diana was coming right in and everybody could have went home happily ever after. So Heroes Complexes gets on my nerve. Just always these unnecessaries, like, why did you stop running to turn around for what? You weren't going to stop that whole army behind you. It wasn't going to fix anything. Keep running. I'd rather the common sense. I'd rather the more organic human element in a lot of these things. So my question to you all, and I'll throw it to you, Lucas, although I kind of know your answer. Where does Monet's death rank amongst all the deaths in Power?
Let's see. Ray Ray? Remember when Ray Ray died when Tariq killed him?
Yeah.
Same way when Monet died. No, one, the whole episode foreshadowed it. So you knew it was coming. And then if you're going to foreshadow it, you want the execution to be a little better. And here it just didn't make any sense. Out the blue, she's now an assassin who could kill everybody. Okay, we're gonna go along with that. All right, cool. When the guy pointed the AK or the machine gun at her, she should have been dead then, but amazingly, she wasn't. And then when you get to the end, when she has to make the decision to run and save Kane, which was not, and all you had to do was do suppression fire, you would have been perfectly fine. But she made that decision, and you just like that. It felt like when Papa Kent in Man of Steel told Superman, like, no.
Yes.
And you're like, what was the point of that? Like, out of all things to do, that makes
that blew me too. Yep.
That's what it felt like. I mean, I guess they wanted to give her a cool moment to go out, and that's why you get the big assassin thing. But, and this is rare in Power, you've never set this character up to be this person. Why in the end are they this person? Because if Monet was that much of a killer, this series would be completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different if she was able to do that all the time. But she's never been that person, ever. So now you make her this monstrous killer because what? I guess you're going to say because her child's life was in danger, but then we got to go back to everything with Zeke and all the kids in the past, and that's never been the case. So why would it be this time? And then the death scene, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't hit as hard as it needed to hit. It hit hard because a big characters off of the show, but it doesn't hit hard because I don't get the feels of it. When Proctor died, that shit. Proctor was built up so well and likable. Monet was never likable. That's another problem here. She was never likable. Just last year, most of y'all were calling for her to be killed. So how at the beginning of the season,
hold on. Once again, at the fan activation, she had the most candles on her table. Yes, and I was like, why? Did. But she did.
Everybody predicted Monet would be the. So we tried to be like, man, there's no way they're going to kill the person that everybody believes you're going to kill. Like, gotta be someone else. And instead, they went exactly that route. But again,
I want to go over because I'm seeing some comments saying top 5, top 10 is I guess, but like we have to talk about some people that did die that like definitely hit you in the feels. Like
what's top 5 though? Like in Power, I want you to really think. After you get past Proctor, Raina, Ghost.
I didn't really feel. I mean, it was shocking, but you know.
We knew it was going to happen, but nonetheless, that was an impact.
I mean, Tasha killing Lakeisha, that was her best friend. That was a big deal. I know I get the whole rat thing, but like, she definitely just killed homegirl right with her son being right outside the door. Outside, like,
yeah, you know. But Cash didn't care.
Like, what about Spunky when he got killed by Tommy? Like one of the comedic releases. Like people like that, I think people are kind of overlooking here. Like. There's definitely some folks. Julio was a great example. That one was like
Julio, in all honesty, is probably number 1.
Yeah, Julio crawling and everything.
The crew, everything. Well, no, Raina's 1, Julio's 2, Proctor's 3. Anything else in that order, I can understand why you would give Monet top 5 because of the character. The character is so big. So when a big character passes, it grows up. But in all honesty, we're leaving out Kanan. Anybody forget Kanan's death?
They built the emotion up for that. You definitely. Yeah, I mean, what about when he killed it? Nobody cared when he killed it. No one cared when Sean got killed. I think everybody was glad Sean got killed.
But no, it wasn't that you cared that the character died. It was that he did it. That mattered.
What about Roller? When they just very low key went in there and was just like, yeah, let's go kill this guy.
Yeah, Holly. Like, it's so many deaths in all honesty that I'm putting ahead of Monet, and I'm naming them. I put all these deaths ahead of that one.
Also, hold on. we're not going to pretend like my girl Liliana's death did not have everybody choked up in force.
Hey, but I think because they separated because they hear power and they thinking only the power but goes to the original. But Liliana's death was huge on the force.
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
That was
it just ain't the same. It just ain't the same. It just ain't the same. I mean, all respect to all the work Mary J did with the character, but like they didn't build up the emotions for her death to like be. And again, let's talk about this so we're not dragging on this too long. In any death, and Courtney had said this in interviews before, that like anytime there's a death, it's always about the ripple effect afterwards. So now you said, what happens with her death? What comes next? Obviously, Noma had to die regardless. We were calling for Noma before this, but now everybody definitely put the exclamation point at the end of the sentence here. But the fact that now Monet dies, what happens with the Tejada family? Well, number one, Diana was all of a sudden she becomes a killer. So I mean, she was going to have
to kill this episode out the blue. Like, it was amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
My point, without even dragging along, is that I don't think her death unifies the Tejada family the way that make everything that they've been going through before this irrelevant. Like Drew and Kane not being on the same page this entire season
should be the case. Yeah,
it still should be the case. I don't think the death all of a sudden makes them like, oh, we need to be homies again. Like, no, Drew's going to continue to want his power from Carter. And one way or another, Kane is going to want to be the lead of some organization. He's going to want to be the guy. He said it to Effie. He says, these are my goals. I know everybody has the goals, but my goals is to be like Frank Lucas, to be like Bumpy. He wants to be one of those legends. That's not going to work with how his brother is still working with a cop.
Her death should actually pull them apart more. Because in the end, you got Kane. He's going to blame them for going half-cocked and him not know about the plan. He's going to say that. But on the flip side of that,
that's the point.
Drew would have to say, and what Diana have to say would be, none of this would have happened if you didn't set up this marriage to Noma.
Yeah.
If you didn't become power hungry, because they blame him fully at times for the separation of the family, you became power hungry and you teamed up with someone who you knew didn't like your mother. So in the end, when she kills your mother, that's on you. So how would that bring us together? That would separate us more, because I would blame you for this, because you set all of this in motion. So I understand the way they want it to work, but you have to have questions here about how this could ever bring them together. And it damn sure bring Tariq together, because Tariq could give a damn that Monet is dead when his mama is the one who attempted to kill Monet and brought it up 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
And she shot at Monet. Tariq don't care.
Yeah. A lot of good comments. So I'm definitely, again, we'll make sure we get to comments. Any super chats we'll absolutely prioritize here tonight. But it's nothing against Mary J's work and nothing against Monet as the character, because the character did what the character is supposed to do. I'm just saying I'm not ranking her in my top 5 in most memorable deaths, or at least deaths that like hit me with the feels. It kind of was just like, okay, the show is wrapping up. You had to kill somebody. I guess we just rolled the dice and it landed on Monet, but it's just not the route I would have went. Again, I had always said, and as much as I love Latoya, I said it has to be Diana. It just makes the most sense in the sense of like what that death would do to that family.
Hold up, because you said a name and it brought another bigger death than this. Jukebox Mom, when she died in Raising Canaan, was way bigger than this.
Oh my God.
Way bigger than this.
Yeah.
And way bigger of an impact than this was.
Yeah.
Getting her life together and again, you gotta when you try to, if you all out there, and then we'll move on. When you all out there trying to rank this stuff, remember, it ain't just power, it ain't just ghosts, it's Raising Canaan, it's force, and then you gotta really go back and think about the impacts of those deaths. It is hard to do it here with Monet because you teased this at the end of last season that she was going to be dead. So you killed her anyway. Okay.
I want to go to Gemini Don's comment real quick. A son that was helpless that can't save his mother, and Monet risked it all to save her kids. Reek feels a way Monet died because of their bond. I mean, If it happens to be that way next episode, we'll see. But let's just challenge you and say, what if Reek doesn't care? What if he just doesn't care? We're not going to just pretend like my man wasn't just kirking in there talk about he killed his own dad, so he can't believe they're doing what they got to do. He at this right now,
why would he care?
His whole point has always been the apex predator. So everybody has to go down in order for him to be number one. So it could go either way. We just don't know. We just don't know.
It's foreshadowing a little bit because what Tasha told him 2 episodes ago at that table. Forget their family. They're not important. We're important. You got to always keep in mind, not only did Tasha shoot and try to kill Monet, I know y'all may forget, Diana worked with Tariq to kill Monet. It was a setup between them two. Why would he care that she's gone? It's one piece off of the table to him.
Yeah. The homie and one of the admins of the channel, AO Productions, appreciate you. Could the Tejadas go after Noma's daughter? So we obviously do see a small clip of Tariq and Anya running. Could it be? I mean, at this rate now, and as we always jokingly say in here, we make Game of Thrones references. There is this thing, blood for blood, and at this case now, there may be a sense of feeling in retaliation of you took our mother, we gonna take you.
Yeah, we'll get your daughter.
Take her daughter so her daughter can see her mother be killed. I'm thinking way more ruthless.
but then that also brings up or shoots an issue for what Gemini Don said. Tariq is going to protect her. Please understand that. If you don't understand anything else, Tariq will protect her. And if he protects her, that means it's the Tejadas against him. Where do you think that's going to go to?
I've noticed how no one said Zeke death meant anything. All right, so let's, before we get to the episode, let's continue to keep you all engaged tonight. We got one more episode to go, and we're talking deaths. Who's next? And we don't know, but if I know anything from what happened with episode 9, I got a feeling there must be something monumental going on for episode 10 as well. So any guesses on deaths? We'll just start with deaths. Any other folks y'all think are coming off the table next week? We have Carter. We have I just want to say Sack's death definitely hit me because I am a big Sack
That's another one.
Yeah.
That's another one. Like Sack's death hit because he was so an ass on all shows. So it's not necessarily the impact is not that you get in the feels as much as the character passing leaves a hole that you can't feel. And that's what Sax did. But as it pertains to who's going to die, I got all the Tejadas dying.
All of them?
Every single one of them.
What?
If they go after Noma, I have all of them dying. The only way Diana survives is if she decides that this is too much and she no longer, after losing her mom, she says, I no longer want to be in this. If she does that, she'll survive. But Kane and Drew will die.
All right, I'm taking a look at some of the comments here. Sir Donald Carter must go. We got Carter, Davis, and Noma. Hold on, let me actually get some of these up real quick. Uncle Jock, Don Carter must go. Carter, Davis, and Noma are gone. Carter and Noma should be in a casket. You talking about Davis' death.
That one that's not gonna.
I need Tate to come through. Listen now, I got some huge concerns about how they're gonna be able to wrap up all of this, but there has to be a case for Tate to come back and take Don Carter's death in his own hands. But I also will say once again, if influence was on the table, him taking down a dirty cop is going to catapult him in whatever bit of polling or whatever campaign that he may be in. Him taking down the dirty cop is monumental, and it makes sense for storytelling because it's just typically how these things kind of work. But I definitely need Tate to make a move. We got Effie on the board.
That Damn, why y'all killing Effie off? Wait.
Could Brayden get killed? I mean, he could, man. He absolutely could.
But the problem is, none of them are in danger at this point.
I
don't think Carter's dying, so I think a lot of y'all gonna be highly upset. I do not see that happening.
I don't have no guesses this time. Let me get to the super chat real quick. I really appreciate you. Sage advice. Peace, y'all. Was it me or did Noma bro, burnt Mr. Potato Head ass come off a little bit too uppity? Y'all tripping on Monet's death. ... Kind of.
Exactly.
I did appreciate Noma's brother's character on the show because Noma is the boss. And we see Noma push everybody around, but now her big brother comes in and had to bring a different type of conflict. I also think he brought a very, I'll just say, stereotypical.
I'm about to say it. I was waiting for you to say it because I was gonna say it. You say he uppity. He is just like every Nigerian I know.
Yeah, he gave me
portrayed him that way.
Yeah, stereotypical Nigerian portrayal here. But I liked it though. I would also like to see him get down and dirty next episode. I would like to see him get involved in some capacity. So we'll see. But it was an interesting bringing of this character. I'm also saying, like, with us having one more episode, I'm a little bit mad because I'm like, I could use this character for about 3 more episodes here. Kind of see how he
it kind of makes you wonder, will Carter or Noma die? Because if we think it's true that it's going to be another spinoff of some form in present day and present time, why would you kill them off here? You just introduced the brother. You just introduced him as a bigger threat than Noma, because technically he's the one who runs everything. The family runs everything. Excuse me. Why would you need to kill him off then?
Brayden killed old girl like Tommy killed Holly. They made 2 little Tommy comments. Yeah. We still got some more death predictions here. Tariq, Kane, Noma, Anya. Oh, no, that's not a death. I was about to say Tariq. Carter is the GOAT. He needs to stay a great villain. I ain't mad at that. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they're going to sort of get things ready for it. I didn't hear you say it.
I said they don't get rid of dirty cops quickly.
Yeah,
and it's a play with Tariq. Like, it's a play with Tariq where he doesn't have to kill Carter to still put Carter in his pocket. And I think that's the bigger power play, is to make Carter work for you than it would be to ever take Carter out. But I do think, as somebody put on there, it's going to relate to his killing of Tate's brother. Somehow, some way, I feel Tariq is going to use that against Carter. And everything Carter has against Tariq goes out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The Nigerian wedding, even to the point where they threw the money at the end, I was like, yep, they nailed that. All right, so we got death predictions. We talk Monet. We got the last comment before we get into the episode. It's gonna be a long night. I feel it right now. The third thing everybody's talking about online is, where the hell did Aunt Janet go? When everybody else got snatched up at the wedding and the wedding reception, Aunt Janet was, where's Waldo? I want to hear some theories. What do y'all think? Where do y'all think Aunt Janet went?
Aunt Janet about to turn into a killer also. Never know. Never know. She could be like Mr. Nobody out there, just getting rid of folk.
I will say this about Aunt Janet. I feel like Aunt Janet always is able to read the room. At her times at the Tejada house, you know, holding Monet accountable, making sure that she confronts what she needs to, but also knowing when she needs to back away and exit the room. And she had very much packed her bags to go back to Atlanta, and then she comes back with Bronze, who played by Lil Durk, to come to the wedding. And then maybe she wasn't feeling the wedding vibes. She knew something was a little off. The reception wasn't hitting like she thought it was.
Yes, it is. Aunt Janet, Aunt Janet, that auntie that leaves before your reception. She'd be like, nah, I'm good. I told y'all stay. I do. I don't need to stay. Gonna get a little too ghetto for me in here. That's
hey,
fine.
listen. Janet knew to be gone by 7 p.m. I know that's Aunt Janet got her. Hey, yo.
Aunt Janet got her a Nigerian king. No, most likely.
And got out of there. And got out of there. I feel that all the way.
He hit her with the, you want to make $1,000, you want to make $1 million with $1,000? Just give me your
Hey, we're going back for another super chat really quick in here. Sage advice for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you. I guess I just don't like the melanated foreigners coming over here with a bunch of disdain towards melanated Americans. He did play in Luke Cage. That's a good call. I totally forgot about that. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Sage. I agree. I had a college professor acted just like that. I mean, this dude, every single chance he got, he had to talk about how lazy American was and how his kids don't do this, his kids don't do that, and they're so great. So, I mean, we obviously live in a world filled with racism and prejudice. And this is one that ain't talked about enough because there's definitely this sort of superior inferior dynamic that goes along here, and that's what this kind of was. And I think what we got from Noma's brother was like Noma's brother felt like she's too Americanized, and you got this Americanized dude. This ain't floating for me. So I think he was trying to take his jabs every single time he could, along with being a bigger brother, but also still stuck in his custom ways. So it's interesting, but I gotta say the portrayal and the execution here was A+.
In all honesty, it swings both ways. It ain't just when we look at it as melanated foreigners because we're in America, but have you ever seen a bunch of Americans going overseas and Black Americans and see how they act?
Yeah,
same thing, no difference.
Yeah,
I mean, hate to say it, but that's just the way we at times are towards each other. In the end, we all the same. That's just because we were dropped off at different points by certain boats, don't mean we different. We're all the same here. But it played it perfectly because he's rich.
Yeah.
Why would he want to mingle with commoners? Like, are you crazy? Like, that would never happen. You think you niggas is getting close to Rich Paul and LeBron James and them not look at you like, oh no, we don't do poor people. Like, it happens all the time. Yeah, you motherfuckers buy everything Beyonce put out, but you motherfuckers could not be in her presence. If she would decide in a heartbeat. Like Blue Ivy, we got pictures of Blue Ivy looking over the balcony at poor people. Like, oh, disgust. Like it just happens. That's just the way the world is. So don't blame the foreigners for that. Everybody's that way. Once you get a certain amount of money, I mean, certain things change. We see it on the red carpet of power. Because clearly, some of them just like, I'm not doing that.
I have a comment to make in pure ignorance that a lot of people do. You ever when you always talk about people and they talk about visiting Africa, how they always think that somehow, some way, Africa is one or two things. It's either Wakanda or it's dirt, but there's no middle ground, which is like top tier blatant ignorance.
Or that Africa is a country. Because there's a lot of y'all that think Africa is a country.
I just quickly Googled top 10 power deaths, and this website has Greg Knotts is number 1, Holly is number 2, and Shannon Burke is number 3. But Shannon's death definitely was done and executed very well.
Whoever made that list, we know that they are not melanated. Because you get the fuck out of here. No one cared about Greg dying. Shannon, I can see that Burke death did hit.
Yeah,
but come on, them first two, Holly's death was impactful for sure, but not top. Come on now.
This other site has number 10, Theo Rollins, which was Davis's brother, Cooper Sachs, Shannon Burke, Holly. They had unique here at a point, which is interesting. Because Sean, Jukebox as an adult, forgot about that.
No, I brought up Jukebox. Yeah. I said it when we were talking. I said, "What about Jukebox when she died?" I brought it up when I brought up Kane.
You said her mother. You didn't say her. You said her mother.
I said Jukebox. I said Jukebox.
I didn't hear you.
Right after Kane, because I like all of that's still in the same realm of the original power.
All right, this super chat comes from V for $5 super chat. What would a Tommy and Tariq spinoff look like to you all? It's going to be the closest thing to power we get, and I absolutely think if ratings wasn't what ratings came out to be this season, I think they would have sent all ships of hell to ensure that they can recapture that same magic. But I also do want to, I should have cautioned that the force ratings haven't been good, but the force ratings come by result of the strike. They weren't able to promote the season, and the season just went out. So they did suffer because of the actor strike, and they wasn't able to do so, and they still went out with the release of it. But I think they're, even before the cancellations, I think there were still concerns about what would that show be able to do. But if Tommy and Tariq was able to, I say they finally get to California. I think they both ran their courses in their respective cities, and I think that us as the viewers, we want a new backdrop, and I would love to see Tariq on the West Coast, which Effie could possibly be at too, by the way,
because she's clearly going to Stanford, and they've been pushing that.
They got to connect there that he was always supposed to get there with. I think it's a fresh start for everybody. It could be a lot of potential out there. So Brayden, Tariq, Tommy, all on the West Coast.
I think that's the next show. Is just going to bring everybody back together, and you're going to continue something different. It won't be called
we will lose
Power,
our
but it'll
mind.
Be something different else.
We'll lose our mind.
Again, Joseph has been very adamant that Force last season ain't the end of Tommy's story.
We'll lose our mind if we saw a graphic and all of them was on the same thing together.
Dude, yes.
Tristan Scott with the $2 super chat. Marvin's white friend.
The kids Jesus, that was a gut punch.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
When his daughter died because of his overdose, dog, that was crazy. Somebody put Terry Silver up there too. Screw y'all. Don't nobody give a fuck about Terry Silver dying.
Somebody did ask about when do you think an announcement is going to hit? I think next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, and then you extend that for however long this next episode is going to be, which I think the next episode has to be at minimum an hour and 20 minutes, but we'll see if they get dicey or not. But I think after those credits roll are going to be like a Marvel moment in the theaters where you're like, I know something's coming after this. And that's the time they're going to have to give us something. They're going to either have to roll a new slate of Power Universe shows, or they're just going to have to roll an extra 15-second clip or 30-second clip of something.
Like they did at the end of Power.
Like it did at the end of Power. And whatever it is, it's got to land. They cannot BS. It's got to land. I mean, it could be anything. And I know y'all probably want Ghost to come back, but like, what if Ghost was just on the ground and we just saw him move or something like that? Ooh,
dog, that would. But then they would have to explain where the fuck he's been for 4 years.
Don't care.
But what happened if he
retcon it all? Do not care. We're gonna figure it. And listen. And honestly, all they got to do is make Tommy being make it as if Tommy knew the entire time. That's all they had to do.
That's it. Yep. Well, nah, because literally for season 1 was him grieving the death of his brother. That's gonna be a little hard to pull off.
Yeah, that's true.
But ain't like Ghost didn't have no connections of people that could hide him. So, but I don't think that'd be it. But again, we're just getting Power Origins mentioned, and Power Origins literally was the trailer that played at the end of the original Power. So they're gonna run this out properly to set up whatever's next. But we know from even talking to them on the red carpet, they're not gonna just exit the current timeline. Ghost been in the belief.
Hey, yo.
You know what? I love that comment.
With Shine and Most Def.
With Shine Obama. Yeah. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh nah,
I honestly too. I would be
Diddy freak offs this whole time.
I would be cool if they ran 3 shows. If they ran the origins with the younger set of characters and cast, and then they ran another show with the older set of cast, and they just ran them parallel, and they just read their stories
because you still got Raising Kanan going on, and they're not saying this is the last season of Raising Kanan.
Yeah, they're gonna end up either gonna run parallel or they're gonna merge them, because with Sasha Penn show running both of them, I could imagine
you gotta move Kanan to that show.
Yeah,
to the origin show to just steady the process of the timeline. But then you gotta have a current show. I think that's important for them.
And I think that's what I'm saying. I think everything that we kind of intel from everybody's cryptic messages is that they're going to have to run a collective show. But I will also say, even with all that, they should definitely still announce one new show with one legacy character and let it make sense. I mean, I don't know who, but they should do something with a legacy character. And I think I would enjoy if whoever the legacy character is a villain, like a villain, and let them be the lead. Somebody that we
could be.
Who?
And I just thought about it. Because everybody knows that what we call influence is gone. That does not mean that character is gone. And that does not mean it's going to be a Tate show, but I think Tate will be in it. But I think Han could be the lead of the show.
You said that a while ago too. I think
he could be the lead of the show, and just them trying to figure out things, but then Tate also be a part of that show. So maybe that's why you get rid of influence, because you said, let's spin it in a different way. Instead of it being influence, instead of it being a Tate-led show, can we spin a different character and still put Tate on there?
It's risky. I think I always get upset because Lorenz Tate is a marketable character. He's a marketable name to the demographic. But I don't know.
Not likable.
I think they could do it with Davis. Davis could survive, and they absolutely can say, Davis, we give you your own show.
Yeah. Or put all of them on the same show. To me, all of them could be on the same show. Tate, Davis, and Han. I keep on calling him Han because I don't remember his name on Power. But he's a big actor to pull that off. And you put all three of them as main characters, and then that way you're branching off a different type of Power show.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of influence, but the influence is not just political, it's also the police standpoint of everything, the law standpoint of everything, and bring Jeannie back for that too. You can do so much with that type of show.
I read all the super chats. You can read this one, sir.
I think everything accumulates with Tariq versus the Tejadas, especially
who did it, man. See, come on, you gotta give a shout out to who did.
Oh, Sage Advice with $5 super chat again. Thank you again. I can't. I was about to give you. I was about to assign you a sex.
Our pal.
Our pal. There we go. There we go. I think everything accumulates to Tariq versus the Tejadas, especially Kane. I'm curious to see how it leads to Reek saving
Anya.
Anya?
Should be Anya.
That's how you spell Anya?
No, it's not. But we get it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is just a
it threw me off a little bit. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a good question though, because I do think that's 1,000% correct. That's what it's going to lead to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you nailed that on the head. I think I said that earlier too. I think you nailed it on the head.
All right. It's a Mo. All right. Bet.
All right, Mo.
All right, Mo. Cool. Just had to check. Yeah, I think. Wait. I'm watching Davis fight ass on anything. I mean, you can't. It's the truth. I absolutely think Davis being given a show. And matter of fact, let Davis get out of being a lawyer on that scale and ended up going into politics and ended up being a lawyer on the federal level, regaining all his dignity back. I mean, if he takes down Carter, that also gives him a huge opportunity for potential.
Yep.
But I think listen, Method Man, he about making some dollars here. So if anybody is ready to play ball, I can see him doing it. Lorenz Tate might be a different catch.
He wants to act. He's not interested in doing anything else, really.
Yeah.
It's not like Mary. Mary's very interested in still acting, but she still does music. Meth does none of that. Meth is like seriously honing in on that. And if you could branch off a show with him, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. All right. So it's been like 45 minutes. We haven't even talked throughout the episode yet. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go down and talk about
our old way we used to review stuff and be like the top 5 things that happened in the episode.
I wanna go down to some scenes I had questions about, and I'm gonna tap your brain a little bit, and I'm gonna see what everybody else is thinking about. I want to go to the scene where, well, first of all, my first reaction was when we started hearing folks being sent to the amusement park. I want to know just how early did everybody realize that there was a setup going on? Because when I heard when Noma says, "Hey, there's product here, it's all yours, just go to the amusement park and get it," I thought one or two things. I thought, number one, I obviously been playing Spider-Man 2 way too much on PlayStation, because I'm like, nothing goes good at the amusement park after dark.
Nothing. I don't even play video games. It ain't that. I thought of the Joker, because he used to beat the shit out of people at the amusement park at nights. No, I'm good.
No, also, I gotta also reference Effie being Mary J with the stun gun with the person at the church. I'm like, so everybody just taking down people with the stun guns with off the ease now. I okay, got it. But like, I'm curious about just how evident it was to everybody that there was a setup going on at this amusement park. Because it was just way too foreshadowing right off the break for me.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those things where it felt like a plot device to get everybody together, but you immediately knew what was going on when Noma told Monet you can have everything, just go to this park. You knew then, oh, okay, this is a setup.
Yeah,
like they didn't even attempt to like hide it well. So again, it's just one of the things where it's a plot device, because you need to move the story forward, because I need them to all get back together again, and them to know that Carter and Noma are setting them up, and that they're working together now. So that it was a means to an end.
Yeah. All right. A scene that I don't think I quite grasped was the Nico and Carter scene. The one where Noma shows up and they were talking about the forensics from the gun, and he was saying, like, we gotta wait for it to come out. And he's stating that, I don't work for you. I guess I just didn't understand at that point. Did either one of them actually think that their plan worked? Because they seem very chilled and relaxed. Like,
amazingly, both of them thought the plan worked, but it makes no sense for them to think that.
I just didn't get it. That was like, what?
You know what? Along with them not making sense that the plan worked, it did not make sense that as Noma is talking, Nico puts his hand on his gun like Noma's a threat. Nigga, she's there by herself. If she was a threat, it'd have been a sniper from somewhere else. Your gun in your hand would have done nothing to that. But again, it didn't make much sense, because they say, well, maybe the Russians went overboard. We got to wait for forensics. No. They blew up a car. I think suspicion should have immediately popped into your head. Like, we didn't tell them to do that. What's the chance that them two got away and they set this up? But they just went right into we just got to wait till we get all the answers back. It made no sense. Both of them thought the plan worked, though, which is silly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna keep jumping around, folks. If y'all okay with that, let me know in the chat. Y'all okay with me jumping around a little bit with some of the stuff? We talked so much about some of the hot things with this episode, so instead of going in our typical order, I'm just going to cover over the things you all have been getting out there on the web and whatnot. A scene that I saw a lot of like interesting commentary about, which is, I don't know, I guess y'all watch Power for very amazingly choreographed sex scenes, because I saw people saying, I thought Kane and Effie sex scene was terrible. Here's what I want to say. We get a moment where we get Effie and Kane while listening to Ice Spice, because that's a choice. We get them doing their thing. But we also get Noma and Davis doing their thing. And the dynamics is totally different, because Noma and Davis is nothing but a fuck. That's all it was. And Noma has expressed that in other episodes about what Davis was to her. And also in our interview, we talked to actor of Noma, and she said that, she just has her fun. She ain't taking nobody really serious at all. So we do see that here, because the way how they had sex was very spicy, and it was rough, and it was what it was. Kane and Effie, on the other hand, was very intimate, very slow. One may even call this making love. I think the dynamic shows you just exactly where everybody was at with their options at this point. I'm not mad at it at all. I also wasn't watching it because I was trying to feel some type of way. But here's that. What did you think about it?
What threw people off was Ice Spice. That's what it was. It wasn't the scene. It was not the scene. It was the musical choice for that scene that threw people off. Because I love the parallel of the two, because you get these two people about to get married and we see where their feelings are about there's other people involved in their relationship. Kane is in love with Effie. So clearly they're going to make love. And Davis and Noma is recklessness. Like, everybody knows what that is. But if that would have played with like a Lucky Day song or Victoria Monet or Money Long or anybody in existence, you could have played Taylor Swift before you played Ice Spice, and it would have been a better scene. I don't know who the hell made the decision that an Ice Spice song was the way to go for a slow, passionate sex scene. You know, this is one of the worst musical selections that Power's ever had, because it makes no sense at all.
I gotta tell you, in the dark web of the Facebook power groups, how somebody commented and said they thought Effie was Ice Spice.
Whoever said that is a munch, or whatever that song is that they played with Ice Spice.
Oh my god!
Like,
I was like,
Victoria Monet songs that are sensual but like up tempo and rough, perfect, because you need the counterbalance between the scenes. But Ice Spice playing it. If I, at any given point in time, was having relations and Ice Spice came on, I would stop and turn to another song. We're not continuing with this play. No, I'm going to be distracted. Like, why? Why is she even on your playlist? Like, come on. Who puts Ice Spice on a sex playlist? Is it who puts Ice Spice on a playlist, let alone a sex playlist? Like, again, you said it, but that was a choice. I don't know who made that choice. I don't know who. I don't know if Ice Spice paid for that placement, because something had to happen there. It just does not make sense.
Definitely a choice. I'm going back to the top of the episode at the classroom scene where Effie gets her acceptance email for Stanford. They're taking the final, but Diana is just completely distracted. She gets up and leaves, only for Diana to later explain what she's feeling emotionally. I gotta say, this is probably the best explanation for a moment where I was like, you need to make this make sense, where Diana is basically coming to terms that, like, her life, which is in a turning point, you have to admit at this point, this is definitely a monumental point in everybody's life, is what's next after high school. Life is really big at this point. And she says that one moment I'm getting ready to be a mother. The next moment I make this little boy orphan. You know, I killed somebody the next moment. Then the next moment I'm supposed to be selling drugs. And next moment out. Like, it's hard for me to flip flop through all of this. So Diana is struggling right now with her reality. What did you sort of think about how Diana sort of expressed what she's going through? And do you think it's true to how they wrote this character for over the years?
At first, it made sense. And then she killed the Russian. And I said, oh yeah, none of that matters anymore. None of it. Like, come on. You're conflicted, but
that wasn't her. That wasn't her. That wasn't her. That wasn't her.
But that conflict didn't exist anymore all of a sudden.
That wasn't her. That was shades. That was shades of her mother, Max Payne. Hey, yo, somebody said Black Luxury. Why I look up and laugh like that? Because of me having to make that Ice Spice comic, bro. That shit was wild.
But yes, I think
like, what world am I living in? Like, who says this shit?
Dog, no one. Absolutely no one. But like, it was at first, again, a nice setup to show that Diana is struggling with how her life has been turned upside down. And we need to see that conflict with Diana, because we need to understand why she's going to get out. because that's all this is setting up for her. Is that she, and I think that's what's going to throw people off. By the next episode, I believe she is going to completely step away from everything. She's not going to look for revenge. She's not going to look for anything. She's the type of person who's going to say, it's too much death. I'm done.
Okay.
And she's going to leave. And I think that's what's going to happen in the next episode. But we need to see that conflict with her because we understand that that's been this character this entire time. She didn't want any parts of this.
Yeah.
And it's like she's always being forced into it. First, her dad forced her to sell drugs when she just wanted to go to school. She didn't want to do anything else.
Yeah.
She gets pregnant. She gets her baby stomped out by a dirty cop who she's in business with that she never wanted to be in business with. She goes for revenge when she wasn't built for that life. She killed a woman with a white woman with a cast iron skillet. Like, all of that is weighing on Diana. So it makes sense while she's sitting down to do a test, life becomes overwhelming. Plus, she probably didn't study for the test, so she wasn't gonna pass anyway.
Didn't anybody study?
Because I mean, like at this point, what was the point of another classroom scene? But yes, and I think you need to see her being overwhelmed because you need to understand this life is too much for her to deal with.
And I was actually about to bring this up, what that AO just brought up too, about Drew may want to. I mean, I'm not going to call it, but you have to put it on the table because right now Drew's going to have to make a decision about the protection of his family, the revenge of his mother, him chasing his passions. That's been something that's been very big with him in the previous seasons, or him staying with Carter and the power that he gets from that, which is again something that he says that he's always wanted. So it's going to be interesting how they and that's a story arc they absolutely can complete with the next episode. They don't need too much more time with that. Let's go to another scene. Let's keep the funnies going. Now, I didn't see a lot of you all commenting this on the line because y'all was too worried about damn Ice Spice and shit. You also right. Everybody talking about wanting to see young people have sex. Listen, there's some weird people out there. I have never looked at Power Book Ghost and said I cannot wait to see a sex scene with anybody on here. But to the person who said Power used to have the person who said Power used to have good sex scenes, I think Stars absolutely had that very, very defined in their contracts, and I think that's why a lot of the shows worked back in the day because Spartacus had more sex than I've ever seen in my entire life on a regular show.
Everybody's sex. It did not. Spartacus did not discriminate. Everybody's having sex. Women, men, women. Everybody was having sex on Spartacus.
So I think it was an identity for Stars. Then
the trope of the show. I think that's the problem here. I think sex scenes are still important to Power because people expect them from Power, but they lost their luster when the lead, which was Ghost, which was Omari, that's what made those sex scenes great, is because there was love behind those sex scenes. You're not seeing love behind these sex scenes. You're just seeing sex scenes. And I'm not one to care about a sex scene. I don't analyze them. The only reason this one popped in my head because they played Ice Spice. And I said, Nick, why would you do that?
Hey, we gotta get to some more. We gotta get through some more because this Dale comment I got it queued up. I'm definitely talking about that in a second. But before that, the comment that I didn't see everybody talk about was the dinner table. Because y'all know one thing about this show, you putting Diana at the dinner table, you know it's going down. But she wasn't the one to have the moment where it was actually Noma's brother. So we get the dinner table scene with Diana, and the first thing I thought was like, what could go wrong? But it's quiet for a little bit until Noma's brother start asking questions, asking about Kane's house, and then everybody has their 10 cents to add in there. Yeah. So everybody's chiming in. We even get a Diana versus Anya moment, trading blows, and Monet is sitting there rolling her eyes, having a good time. Because at this rate now, everybody's just trying to dig and fetch for details. Monet bringing up Mecca is interesting. I also think that it was interesting response about how Noma's brother was like, oh, you know, Mecca. And I don't think, for me, I didn't take it as like a bad thing. I think he felt like if you know him, then maybe you can speak my same language about things. I think there was a sense of him saying like, all right, like there could have been more business maybe there at that point. The way I feel like he reacted to that was kind of like this is good, because everybody else here I've got questions about, like, who the hell is this Kane guy? But Mecca, that's interesting here. But while all that's happening, Noma and Kane is doing their best to deflect. And somehow, some way, they made it work, because that's typically not how these scenes happen. Somebody has to get the last word and detonate the whole thing. But for you though, what did you think about the dinner table scene? And did it live up to its normal power expectations?
You know what? No, it didn't. But I'm grateful it didn't. This was more comedic time at the table here, because everybody was playing everybody. You got Drew throwing shots at Kane. Kane responded to it. Monet throwing shots at Noma. Big shots at Noma. Like, hey, she was with my ex. I was with Mecca, and now she's married my son. Like, all of that stuff going on, along with her brother believing he's better than everybody at that table. And then you spice it up with Anya and Diana going at it. It was just a fun table scene. Normally with the Tejadas at a table, it ends up getting tragic. And secrets get spilled that have no business being spilled, and there's ramifications for it. Here, it was just literally fun. And I love that they took out of such a serious episode for them to have this type of moment in this episode.
Yeah.
But again, this is also foreshadowing that Monet was going to die. Like, all of this is foreshadowing that she was going to die.
Yeah.
And this table scene is that.
Yeah. Because after that, that's where they make amends finally. And Kane getting his moment that he's always been waiting for now 4 seasons, 9 episodes, that Monet is proud of him. I don't think she was never not proud of him. She just never said it. So it's interesting, because my only issue with that was that Kane never was looking for acceptance from his mother. He wanted power and position from his father.
Yeah, that's
was his whole thing.
Weird. Yeah. Monet always believed in Kane.
Yeah. To what he needed to be believed in, shall I say.
Yeah, exactly.
She never overqualified him.
You know what, though? She takes this time to tell Kane, you know what, man, I'm proud of you. Yeah. She didn't say shit to Diana, though.
That was the
not a motherfucker. That's
never ever Ayo.
Again,
I swear.
Reason 102 why Diana is gonna walk away after Monet's died. Be like, man, that bitch never liked me anyway. Yeah, I'm good. It's okay.
Yo, if I wish, and I think Young Lou is hilarious, and I wish. Sometimes I wish Young Lou would run narratives like we be talking about on here, and I wish to God he would start doing ones where it focused on how Monet never fucked with Diana, because if he was on that ground and she's getting ready to die, she was like, my babies, but not Diana. Fuck exactly. You. My baby,
my baby. She was talking about
Drew, baby, miniature baby Lorenzo, and I think that's it. But yeah, that's it. All right, bye.
Diana's fetus,
but not Diana's fetus. Tariq's baby, Drew Kane,
not Tariq's. Oh, exactly. She is not like Diana. And for all y'all who still think Diana's gonna go hard for Monet, you ain't paying attention to this show. No, you're just not paying attention to the show. Because it's not just that. Again, it's all no. But that shit's hilarious stuff.
1000% a daddy's girl there. That, which is why, like, I want them to stay consistent, because, like, we ain't blind. We've been watching this. We know the dynamics with that family, and we're not about to make her death all of a sudden make Diana love her mom more than what it was, because it still is what it is. Nothing's changed. She didn't give no grace to her daughter after all of this.
Let's get this right here. Technically, if y'all are paying attention here, Monet is the reason that Diana does not have a baby anymore.
Okay, explain this. I need to hear this.
Oh, great. How did Carter get involved with the family? It had nothing to do with Diana.
Oh, yeah.
And because Carter got involved with the family, Felicia gets involved with the family. She thinks that Monet, because they have power over Monet, they have it over Diana.
Homegirl did come over that joint and needed Monet to fill out or complete something. Yeah, and Diana just became the default.
We gotta put two and two to here together here. That's what to Diana, all of it is toxic. So the best way to say is we lost somebody and it's time to go.
Hey yo, this is correct. This is a correct comment right here. Oh, my babies, Kane, Drew, Tariq's baby. I see y'all ain't having
my nephew Brayden. My nephew Brayden.
my nephew Brayden and his girl Elle. I think that's everybody.
Light skin Keisha.
Oh, Effie too. Yeah, Effie. Forgot about her.
Obi, I met him once. He was wonderful.
Such a nice guy. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Hey, all right. So go to the strippers now. So we get Lil Durk showing up as Bronze. I don't even think he was announced anywhere earlier in the season. So when I did see that they showed pictures for him showing up, I was kind of like, all right, cool. I guess, add a little bit of extra star power for the end of the season. Yeah. But Bronze did nothing. But I did like that they did portray a very accurate depiction of how family, cousins, and whoever, when they link up when there's a celebration. So the whole party scene, that was kind of dope. Diana being there, Drew not really wanting to be there, and for a lot of reasons. But we absolutely got to talk about what those lot of reasons were. But before we get to that, just Lil Durk, I think, besides star power, the character Bronze did nothing. He even got snagged up at the wedding over Janet. So he got his moment, you know what I mean?
That's it. That's all that matters. Yeah.
But it's a stripper party. This is the most action that this damn bar has got.
The only action this bar's ever had.
Series.
And when Monet said, "Don't y'all wreck my bar," how?
Yeah.
How? We can't wreck Bash Liquor Store, even if we wanted to, or TikTok, or whatever the hell that bar is. But come on now. Come on, Joe.
But
I love the scene though. It was a great scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a great scene, not because of the strippers, but it was a great scene just because of the depiction of family there.
Yeah.
And the dynamics of everybody else, and how even if they're mad, they're still happy for Kane, and the cousins are there. And then the little interactions between Diana and Drew, which is also great there. Like I love the part where Diana said, "What, you want a lap dance?" Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Or is my man Jay Gauze? I think I'm saying this man's name right. Because it's too close to another word and I'm not going to say. So Jay Gauze said, and he said it much earlier, so you're not going to be able to find it now. When he said, Drew's the only gay man I know who doesn't care about looks or fashion. Yes, Drew could give a fuck about any of that, Joe. And that depiction is highly important to the way they have him operating this entire season, because it shows he's one track minded, and that's what's important here with Drew.
Yeah. Thank you. Absolutely. At a point, I'm just kind of like, that's a throwaway comment to get a little funny in there that didn't serve. Oh, well, I was like, actually, it does, because it shows you exactly where Drew's focus is. And honestly, if Drew was for whatever reason going to allow himself to have fun, it would have distracted the idea that they realized something was going down and they needed to leave. So they definitely handled that right. I was not aware. I think I did look at the trailer, but I don't think I seen Lil Durk. But if Lil Durk is going to play a part next episode, I have my bet that Lil Durk is catching a bullet next episode. It just seems like that makes
2 Chainz style or BMF type bullet.
Yep. Tone the Virgo with the $5 super chat. Appreciate this question. Likely to become pregnant, Effie or Anya? I gotta say, now, based on the actions of the series, it definitely should be Anya, because my man Raw Dog Reek is out here striking left and right, because he don't know no better. But if there's one story that all of us have heard, especially anybody in our age bracket knows, that people don't go to college because they end up pregnant, or they go to college and have to drop out because they were pregnant. I'm feeling the Effie thing based on this question, but based on my theory earlier, I like Effie getting to California for the opportunity for where I think the spinoff show should be. And her being in that sort of central area could mean that she could be a usable character down the line. But yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I'm going to guess Effie. I don't think Anya's pregnancy. I just don't know what that does.
I give it to you what it does. It literally fully turns. If you have a question about it, it turns Tariq against the Tejadas. Because
but they don't have enough time to talk about that though.
But no, all she gotta do is say, I'm pregnant. She tells him she's pregnant. You think he's gonna let anyone harm her?
You think a month has gone that quick? Wow.
I mean, Reek, I mean, bust him down, Reek. I mean, ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. We look here, we don't know. I mean,
also this. I can see this being something that works. You know what?
But I already think Kane Andrews dying, but yes.
You know what? I also think this works because I also think Effie being pregnant is going to be sort of this declaration to motherhood because of her mother's absence to her. Because at a point you start to say Effie's mom being in this show did what? That's a big name for what? So I don't know. And we all know how this works too, because this has been like the most infamous trope of all mankind. Their grandmother who didn't get it right with their kid,
Kate,
who tries to get it right with their grandkid.
Monet.
Yes, Tate, Monet.
We've seen it. So
it just never ends, man. It just never ends. Josephina and her robot school. All right, next comment. Let me just read this really quick. Yo, Anya on the twin size bed with Reek. I mean, all right, what do we got next? What's another interesting little bit from this? I guess another quick little thing. The G-Wagon blowing up. I think Monet with the G-Wagon has been sort of a staple of the Ghost series, much like the Penthouse and Regular Power, much like Tommy's place in Tommy with his place and the Mustang in Force. Did we feel some type of way about the G-Wagon just going in the way it did?
Nah, because that was another sign. Again, all of it is signs about the end of Monet to me. Because that's what you're paying attention to.
Yeah.
Because that is like a legendary car for this series. It's been everywhere humanly possible. Monet done caused so much havoc in that G-Wagon. It is ridiculous. So for them to blow it up, I think that was a sign of ending the one thing and a new beginning somewhere else. So yeah.
All right. Do we talk about wait, I need to make sure this is the right episode here. Is this I'm looking at my notes real quick. Is this, and I think it is, because where else would this have happened? Just checking. Yeah, here we go. This y'all please help me out here. Everybody help me out. Can someone explain to me why Davis kidnapped the head security guard, killed him, was shocked that he killed him, and what purpose did this serve? Somebody help me out why that had to be an element in this at all. Please. I need to know why the Davis killing the head security guard. What was the cause and effect? What was the result? What was the logic? Help me out here, because I just don't know. I'm reading the super chat real quick from Playboy Phil with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you tonight. So we forgot about RSJ and Tate getting the cops to shut down the Weston's Holdings, and Tariq knowing too much story to tell in just one. I mean, listen, man. RSJ is a character I know a lot of you all have been predicting in terms of who his affiliation with and so on. There's absolutely zero chance RSJ shows up in the 10th episode, or they are able to complete that arc. But now that you mention RSJ and Tate and Davis and Stern and the whole DNC and everything else political and law enforcement, I would even throw Carter in there one way or another, possibly. I think they absolutely have got to figure out the political aspect of the Power universe and put it on the show. Hey, listen, you know what else I can see? Michael Ealy always plays the sleazy character. It just never fails. Could you see him?
Always played a sleazy character.
As of recently,
2 kids out the window. That's it. 2 kids out the window. That's all he did. Not done anything else sleazy.
Could I make the biggest hot take of the night right now?
Oh shit. Sure.
Could we see Carter in handcuffs and Carter get flipped to become the new Mecca, where they have him as just a informant, all the connections he has, and he is running intel back to the government? Is there opportunity?
I don't believe Carter's going to die. I believe Tariq is going to flip him. That's what I believe is going to happen. And he's going to use Tate to do so. And then Carter will go from working independently on his own as a police officer to fully working for Tariq when everything he wants to have done.
I think
Carter becomes the cop that Monet had under her. And Carter becomes that for Tariq with all his connections he already has.
Yeah,
including
they got some
Tariq
options.
Taking over that little underground club.
They definitely got some options to do with Carter. But once again, appreciate the super chat, Playboy Phil. I think RSJ is a character. They need to do us the fans right and ensure that we see him again. And
he broke though around, right?
Make it make sense, huh?
He broke now though, right?
No.
How much did he invest in Weston Holdings that he lost? He lost a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think he's broke. They didn't build it.
He was pissed. He was pissed. He lost enough money to be extremely mad.
For sure. All right, but now y'all not off the hook. Why the hell did Davis take this lead security guard, kill him, act surprised that he killed him? Wait, first of all, I have let me tell you my very distinct issues here. When has Davis ever was portrayed to not be a street dude that just had
been pretending? Yeah, they've always played him as a street dude who just happened to be in law. Literally caught a body already before. We know that part. His brother took the blame for it.
So all of a sudden he kills somebody. And now he's like, "Oh shit, what did I do?" What's is so crazy is that he killed somebody and he was surprised. Diana killed somebody earlier and had nothing. She was like, "No problem. Take care of that. Easy peasy."
How did he kill that man in the sleeper hole?
I mean, you could, but like, is he trained to do that?
Had it locked in. Yeah, not the way he had it locked in. That show was barely locked in.
Sage. Now, you've been playing devil's advocate tonight, so I'm a mess with you here. PTSD, that is an interesting factor. If that's the case, I would have liked that to be played up just a little bit. It's easy to play PTSD on television. You get one little psyche moment, and they're just that, and you start seeing it a little hazy. I mean, we can do. I mean, I think Tariq. They showed Tariq to have PTSD. At one point, and somebody on Raising Kane, I think, was it
Lou?
Yeah, was it Lou? I think. Yeah, so it's not that hard to do so, but nonetheless, I'll walk off of the death scene itself, but you have to tell me why the security guard death had to happen. That's what I needed to know. What? And you're gonna say, let's just talk about it now, because I told this to Lucas. We've had head security guards as characters on this show. When did Milan ever leave from alongside of Ghost's side because somebody said Ghost wants you to go do what? Like, what if Dre went over to him and was like, "Hey, Ghost says you need to come with me to come find somebody else." Like, no, you're the head security guard. You are always attached to your VIP. Why would he ever leave his post with Noma? Because the lawyer said, "Hey, bro, come with me. We got to go find the Russian." Huh? Go get one of your guys to do that. Not exactly. It just didn't make sense. I don't even care. I don't even care about all the stuff I said now. What I really want to know is that happened for what? What was the result of this? Tell me what that death result to end. Besides Noma looking around saying my lead security person is missing. Shut it down.
Because that's literally almost what happened. You took him out. Everything needs to be shut down. Where's he at? It makes no sense. But again, it's power being power.
Yeah.
Because again, this is the head of Noma security. Because I think somebody put T Glass said this is some random security. No, it's not. This is the head of her security team. Security team.
It really is.
He is not random at all. That's what made it weird. Because the head of her security has no business leaving her side for anything. And definitely not led by Davis, who, because he's the head of her security, he knows how important Davis is. And Davis is not that important.
Yeah. It says where it says we've said the several times in the chat that he was going to tell Noma that the Russians didn't report back. Nothing. Noma just put the Nigerian twat on him. He feels
the only issue with that was the Russians clearly didn't listen to them because they blew up a car, according to her and Carter. Why would they report back? If they did something they already had no business doing, I'm not reporting back to you then. Because they already set in motion that the Russians overkilled, as they put it, and blew up a car with the bodies in it. At that point, what would I care about them reporting back for? If I'm Noma and I'm already going along with the theory that you blew up the car, I don't care that you report back. Who's Noma allies? Her brother?
Going to be in the war. I got to question him really quickly. Because we're here for the powerisms tonight. So let's just go full tilt. Wasn't there a statement earlier in this episode or the last episode about needing bodies for the war? Because they were going to go as against Noma, who had bodies, and also didn't know. So we know that Noma has an army and she has dispendable bodies, but it's okay because Monet Payne or Wick, whatever you prefer, made slight work of that, right? So who needs an army when you got Monet to just come out here and do what you think somebody like Mecca could possibly do, you know? But that's no here nor there. When do you think the retaliations of the Russians is going to happen? How many times have we seen this arc with the mobs of the different shows when certain folks don't report back, they tend to send a lot more. I just don't see how to make it out of this. I just don't know.
Yeah. And Noma has, as somebody forgot, Noma has a crazy army. She has putties, so she has to have an army because Monet was killing nothing but putties. So, like, she has an army. That's never going to be an issue for her. So you gotta wonder: is all of Tejadas like Monet, and all of them could just kill anything that moves? Like, you're gonna have to make it make sense here.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I agree. I'm going to keep because I think Sage, I hope you understand that I value the devil's advocacy tonight. He also did to protect Tariq. That's a very important thing. Is Davis has a loyalty to Tariq in a way that they built and has emphasized even last week when they talked about who works for who. So I get it. So Davis killing the guy, I get that. But the guard leaving his post, I don't. I don't. I don't get why he would do such a thing. So maybe I didn't word that right. Like I could see what Davis' motivation was behind this. But the guard leaving and going on a nice. Can I tell you too, as a big Fast and Furious fan, that this scene with Davis and the security guard, and also Davis was so nervous as he was just patting on the wheel all crazy.
I understand well. Crazy.
It literally reminded me of Too Fast, Too Furious. Hopefully you all know where I'm going at with this. And my man Roman Pierce with the one guy, and right before he hits the most iconic line of all of Fast and Furious, Cito Ejecto. It literally felt like that's where they were going, where they were driving. I was like, yo, if he pulls out the red button and eject my man out of the seat, I would never watch another television show ever in my life.
Oh shit. Yeah. Like the whole scene, the way they played up Davis.
Ejectocito, yes. Nervous. Yes. Ejectocito, because that's exactly how it was stated. Yeah.
And what makes it worse is that Davis is so nervous, and a train head of someone's security does not notice the person driving him is as fidgety as humanly possible, and not seeing that as a problem.
I mean, he got out and he was like, oh, I knew it, but it's kind of like, but you were never disarmed. You had a gun because.
So why didn't you have a gun already pointed at him when he turns that corner?
Yeah, like the dude did Roman Pierce, and then he pulled out the red button and got him out of there as his backup plan. You know, you got cuz. All right, I think there's only one more thing I wanted to bring up. We haven't talked about the Carter and Tariq thing, so we'll leave that as the last little thing. Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to Brayden driving a 9/6 Impala. They got some money on this show, because that's a classic that they don't even have many of those kind of even floating around in rotation like that. And the fact they put that in a stunt scene to have it wrecked was a choice.
No, they can make replicas of it though.
I guess
bunch of replicas going around.
Yo, got the Caprice and made it a 9/6 Imp. Gotcha. There was a lot of that going around in the world.
Not even the Caprice, the Mercury Marquise. Mercury Marauder.
The Marauder's the better one. The Marquise is the trash one. Yeah, the Marauder's
rare. But I mean, the Marauder's the one where you could custom it to make it look like a 96.
No. The Marquise is the one you can. The Marauder's the top of the line one. Those are rare. You wouldn't do that either. The 9/6 and the Marauders are like the top of the line bubbles. Like, you got that, you were doing a little something. But yeah. But I feel you. Like, they probably, took the little shell off, or they just put the badges on it. That's all they did around the way.
You already know.
All right. Trying to think what else talked about that and that. Brayden still doing his drugs.
My man took a bump before doing he takes a bump before doing anything at this point.
Yeah. I guess let's just talk about the whole Carter thing then. So after Carter tries to do his confessions and Tariq gets disarmed and he handcuffs Tariq, he takes him in, and then Brayden and Effie, they have a little chase, and Brayden T-bones Carter, and Carter runs head on into a parked 18-wheeler, where a part of it goes right into the front of the car. Now, I may watch 1 or 2 horror films a week.
Mm-hmm.
I 1,000% put my chips on somebody died, and they were going to play up who it was for next episode. Wasn't expecting them to come back and they both were just knocked out. So was I the only one that thought somebody definitely took an L there? Because typically when that happens, somebody dies.
The speed that you would hit a truck and where that truck position hit that windshield, it should have took Carter's head off. So he should not be alive in any way, shape, or fashion. And if Tariq is not properly seatbelted in, granted, it should be plexiglass. That was a cop car, but depending on how, if it's a private cop car, it's questions. But Carter should have been dead for sure. That's where I thought they were going with it, is that Carter would be dead.
Yeah,
but then we get the scene where Carter's just tied up.
Yeah. So Carter's tied up, and now Tariq has an option of what's he going to do. So let's just put it there. How do you see this playing out?
I said it already earlier. Tariq's going to flip him. He done told Tariq, I have evidence of you killing somebody on tape. Tariq's going to find, through Effie, a way to get something on Carter that they can use. Because no matter how clean you may think a cop is, always evidence around him, some way, somehow. And if you don't have it, make it up. Like, he still has to fight it.
Yeah.
And I think it may come back to, if it does not come back to Kamal's death, it's going to come back to Felicia's death. It's going to be one of those two.
Okay. I think Nico is going to have something to do with here. But I also think in the situation of how everything is set up right now, I think it was an opportunity for them to stage a suicide, run the car, do a little carbon monoxide, and have him look like he killed himself. Nico could testify essentially that he knew he was into some dirty stuff, and so he took his way out. He took his way out of all of it. So I thought possibly, but again, I still very much lean towards Tate getting his measure of revenge in one way or another. And I think honestly, it will be cinematic if we get an opportunity for Tate to hold the gun to Carter's head and decides to just have him arrested. And have him arrested because he's going to use him, and him bringing down the big dirty cop is going to catapult him into some bigger seat in within politics. So I don't know, but it will be interesting. That's it's definitely a good little arc that will end this season that I wish wasn't an arc that ended the series. Like that's my issue.
You know what? That's the biggest problem, is that this is going to end the series, and it's not just an arc to go to the next season, because it doesn't feel complete. And that's why you got to believe it's something else that's going to be following this, and it's got to be some branch off of something, because with one episode left, it's way too many storylines still open that everybody is trying to figure out here. And you're wondering, okay, if you decide to focus mainly on Monet dying, that means you have to cut out a lot of other storylines that people want to have resolved. Yeah. Because you can't have the Tejada kids going out crazy, and then you got Tariq with Carter, and then that leaves out anything else that you think needs to be closed out. They can't even address it. So how do you do that? You do it by possibly moving some of these people on to another show, or not killing characters that y'all think are going to die. I know people again want Carter to die. I don't see that happening. It's a chance that Noma won't die, and then that will hurt people even more. And it's a chance that both of the Tejadas are going to get killed, and then we see Tariq become exactly what he needs to be. Because if Tariq wants to become this apex predator that he constantly talks about, none of the Tejadas can exist. None of them. Kane ain't never going to stop trying to kill Tariq, and Tariq knows that. So he has to die. And Drew has become a threat for Tariq. He got to die. Like, for Tariq to become what everyone thinks he's going to be, that means the board has to be completely cleared off for him to do so.
Yeah.
And how do you clear board off here without all of them dying? There's no way, except for Carter, who I think he can flip.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. Last thing to talk about, then we're gonna revisit the question we opened up. One of the questions we opened up the show with. Everybody want to talk about the Tariq in the warehouse scene where he says, "I'm Tariq St. Patrick," and he's just throwing things around. I cannot remember what it was, but somebody said that scene is a carbon copy of something else iconic, and I didn't. When I saw it, I was like, "That's actually true." I just can't remember what it is right now. But
I know what I thought the moment he did the scene, and it's not. I didn't even compare it in a way, and that was, same thing. I always refer back to Mark for Death. So who killed him? White boy Hatcher? And then he's like, I want him dead. I want his family dead. And if you don't kill him, I kill you. That's what I thought of immediately, Jay.
I remember now. See, my memory working good tonight. Somebody posted a side-by-side of Tariq and Nat in Carlton when Will got shot in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. At the hospital. When Carlton was, yes, when he was flipping over the trays and stuff in the hospital. I was like, dog, like for real, but
we've had that warehouse scene where the person's mad because I swear Vin done had a couple of them on Fast and the Furious where he's just mad and he's just destroying everything because he's mad in the moment. Which when the mechanic who I always say shouldn't have died in part 1 but had to die because for some odd reason he got shot once and they killed him. Like again, that was a Vin scene. But that whole I'm Tariq St. Patrick, it's like, come on, dog. Come on.
Yeah.
Then you up here confessing to your father's murder. I murdered my father. They think I'm playing with them? It's like, yes, they do.
Truly. All right. Well, before we wrap up tonight, we're going to revisit the last question, but I ask all of you all that are with us right now, take one quick second and give this video a thumbs up, please. And if you have not liked or subscribed, this is an opportunity to do so because we got to go live next week too. And we don't know exactly when, but we will.
I'm about to say, we said we were going live Friday, right after episode airs, is what I remember someone promising the audience is that we were going live right after episode airs. So
we'll
that
see.
Been Friday at 1:15 a.m.
We'll see. We'll see. But yes, that might be the plan. But either way, you can be locked in because all you need to do, even if you don't like that, subscribe, and notification bell thing, just do it this week. And then you can figure out what you want to do after that. Because I think when we go live for this finale, it will be a discussion of discussions for power. Because as all the things we have addressed, of all the things that you all have addressed, the theories, the concerns,
exactly,
something's got to happen next week, and we got to talk about it. So, I am very interested in seeing how it plays out, and I pray we get no leaks. I pray we don't get no leaks. We got through this week.
I'm about to say they're not releasing the episode to critics for that reason,
but
which is
you just never know what channels through other channels and things. I just hope. I don't want to even talk about it. I just hope, and you all, I hope we don't get no leaks and we have a finale that should be worth a good 2-hour discussion of chaos because they have so much to cover. So I can't wait and see. Let me hit this super chat by the Queen Ebony Yvonne. It was interesting how Davis looked when Reek said he ended Ghost. I think he just knew. For me, I felt like he did that is the motherfucker I knew he was the entire time, maybe enduring. But I mean, listen, y'all talk about how much I love Proctor. Is this not that? The whole setup?
Everything that
goes you know,
every crooked thing, every murder he knew, because that's what lawyers are, and that's always been the relationship between Davis and Tariq. Is that Tariq does not feel he needs to hide anything from Davis.
Absolutely,
because in the end, Davis has proven it time and time again. He has Tariq's back no matter what. So if you have my back no matter what, I don't need to hide anything from you, and that's the symbolic relationship that they show between Davis and Tariq and Ghost and Proctor.
Yeah.
So I think that again, it's just another thing to pick up to and pay attention to.
Yeah. I love the dynamic. It's something that they built up over these seasons, and it works. It's believable, and him to be alongside of Reek and for him to be loyal to him, even when Noma's throwing him ass and opportunity, and he's even probably a little whipped himself, but also I think he see opportunity there. He remains loyal to Tariq, and that has never been a question. Even when the money has stopped rolling in, it remains. So there's
even when his money stopped rolling in, Tariq fixed it for him.
Yeah.
That's their relationship there. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Final part of tonight's coverage. We're rolling it back. Who survives and who doesn't? I'm going to throw out some names, and I think there's a little delay on the chat. So this is where it's going to get a little interesting for us here, because I would like for it to be a little bit more in real time if possible. So I'm gonna name some folks, and we're going to see how people respond. So you all let me know if you think these people are going to are they gone? Is Christmas getting canceled, or they'll live to see another day? First person I want to start off with is obviously probably the most interesting one is Noma. Do she survive, or is she gone? What you think, Lou?
I right now believe they're gonna kill her. Most likely, they're gonna try to kill her, unless they set up something to branch her off. But I don't think keeping Noma alive is important anymore when we established that she's not the head of her family. That was the establishment that she's not the head, like everyone assumed she was, made her dispensable immediately. So now you got to wonder, like, just because she dies, that doesn't mean her family dies and that organization dies.
Yeah.
She just dies.
It reminds you of the Flynns in Force.
Yes.
So but I'm with y'all. Noma's gone, but her brother might live is exactly my comment right there. That's exactly what I'm at right there. Yep. I think her brother takes his talents back somewhere. I think they keep the character on deck for another opportunity there. I think he shows just to bring him towards his sister if she dies.
No, because I think
he wipes his hand with it. But anyway, I want to go through some other names now. Let's go to Anya. Is she gone, or will she survive?
She not only survives, but she goes off on the sunset with Tariq.
I ain't going that far.
But y'all know now. She survives and she becomes Tariq's new thing.
I don't care about the character, so I think she survives.
I think the caring part is her becoming part of Tariq, and this is why the brother won't die. Anya's still part of the family. Boy, would that give Tariq a lot of leverage over a lot of people if all of a sudden he's with the person who's also part of this big family. And he saves her and her uncle knows it.
Yeah, Anya survives, but I don't care what happens. Good luck. Elle. Does Elle survive, or is she gone?
Come on now. Elle. Ain't she still getting high? Does she even matter?
I think
fentanyl Badu is fine. She'll survive. Fentanyl Badu ain't going nowhere, bro. She'll survive.
Fair enough. Let's see what other people think about Elle. Does Elle survive, or Elle already gone?
Already so she's already gone.
Y'all talking about how funny we are. Y'all way funnier. Y'all way funnier. That's a reckless comment right there. Effie, is she gone to Cali, or does she survive? I mean, I'm sorry. Does she survive and go to Cali, or is she gone and never makes it?
Effie survives. I don't think they'll kill Effie off. There's no need to. I think she's gonna live out her dream of, like, I hate when y'all say going to robot school. Y'all are ignorant. She's gonna go ahead and go to Stanford and live just the dream that she wants to. Could be pregnant when she's living that dream, but she's definitely gonna go away.
Yeah, I got Effie surviving and going to Cali. Caucasian male, aka Brayden, survives.
They're not killing Brayden off under any circumstances. I'm like, y'all know that now. Not only will Brayden not get killed, but him and Tariq will be part of whatever's next. Brayden ain't going nowhere. You might as well get over that part of it.
I gotta tell you, man, I have a wild sense that Brayden may not make it, because everybody else seems
overdose.
Super,
it won't be somebody murdering him. It'll be him going for an overdose.
I just don't know, man. But because, first of all, the drug use has not paid off to anything yet. It's still there for something.
Here's the problem. We saw Tommy use drugs for 8 seasons.
Oh, it's not the same. Oh, it's not. It's
Tommy was snorting lines every opportunity he got.
It ain't the same.
Drug use ain't. Everybody can snort a little line. Like, it's a line. He ain't like shooting fentanyl, and at least he know his shit is clean.
Well, my point with it is that everybody else, the actor, seems a little bit more optimistic about their future. I don't think I've heard Gianni say too much about the future of Brayden's character.
If we go by that, we got Mike on the red carpet on our channel right now, and him saying, "Nah, man, this is it for Tariq. There's no other anything." He said that during our interview on the red carpet. He said, "Nah, this is it." Because I asked and I said, so we know about possible spinoffs, and he said, "Nah, this is it."
But more recently, that stance has changed. I don't know. Gianni hasn't. Well, another interesting thing, I haven't seen Gianni and Michael tandem talking about the future of things either.
I think they ain't allowed. I don't think they're allowed to talk about it or bring it up
until why
the finale. I don't think it's because they're gonna be together. I think it's because they're still trying to keep people hidden in the dark of what the next spinoff is going to be. But Brayden I don't see Brayden going anywhere.
I don't know. I my prediction. I don't know about Brayden making it. I don't know. Not sure how or why, but I'm not totally confident Brayden makes it. But Diana, she gone or did she survive?
Oh, Dan is about to go off on the Coach Carter song. That little Faith Effin jump. The little jump they played in the BET movies. Oh, I'm hopeful. Yes, I am. Diana gone. she good. She ain't going in nobody's industry. She's gonna go to Monet's funeral and then she gonna pack her shit and leave the family. So yeah, she'll survive because you'll never see her again.
Yeah, I feel that. I can get with that. I think I can see Diana getting a send off. Drew, I would just say I can see Drew getting a send off too. I can actually see them both just rolling out. To be honest,
I already said my opinion on both of the Tejada boys. I think both of them will get murdered in the next episode.
Kane, I don't know what I would do with Kane because I think Kane being the one to kill Noma is poetic justice. Yeah, I think that's how I see that playing out. I think I see Kane surviving too. I think I see all the Tejada surviving.
Kane could kill Noma, but Noma's brothers are going to kill Kane.
Or does he have an opportunity to do so and he doesn't?
Nah, he's going to kill Kane. And I think they're going to make the mistake, or Kane or Drew, one of them going to make the mistake, go after Anya, and Tariq's going to kill the other one. Matter of fact, no, flip that. I can see Drew killing Noma and Noma's brother killing Drew. I can see Kane going after Anya and Tariq killing Kane.
Ain't nobody killing Drew. Drew too good with it.
All right.
I got Diana, Drew, and Kane surviving. I got Brayden not surviving. I got Anya surviving. I have Tariq surviving. I have David surviving. I have Carter being arrested and being used for future. I also have Tate having some involvement with that. And then who's some other characters? Tasha, I think Tasha's good. Yaz is good. I think Noma's brother is good. Noma's gone. And who else are we missing? What are the characters, right? Is there
no one
else?
Important? Absolutely no one important on the show.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Again, yeah. I have everyone surviving besides Kane, Drew, and Noma. Everyone else surviving.
Yeah. So what y'all think about Davis? I say my part on Davis. Y'all think Davis is gone, or I think Davis will get his license in Stadia, and I definitely think he's gonna be working on a bigger platform. I think him and Tate, it's gonna be. You know what's interesting? They always had a little bit of an interesting relationship, but they always sort of despised each. In a way, there was a benefit amongst working for each other, but there was always a little bit of like, there was something between them because it was the dirty lawyer versus the dirty politician, but there was money to be made. But Davis is gone, Davis live. I think we're kind of torn on that, everybody. So that could be interesting.
It feels like a symbolic relationship between him and Tate, where they can not like each other, but they still need to work with each other. And I think that's going to be what you'll get part of another spinoff between them two, is that you'll get that type of relationship and how they counterbalance each other out. Like, that's the key part here. But Davis is going nowhere. I think Davis is going to be possibly the key character for whatever spinoff happens too.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'm definitely don't have anything else there.
We just went for almost 2 hours on episode 9 when I know y'all gonna want to talk forever on that last episode. Like forever, Holmes, as they say.
Yeah.
Forever. So we already know that. But again, y'all tuned into us on a surprise live on a Monday because we did not give any foreshadowing that we were going to do this before like the last 30 minutes before we did it.
Lauren, she's done. She's off the show. She doesn't show up. There's nothing.
She's in witness protection. There ain't no need to bring it up, Lauren, no more. She's safe.
Her and Jenny, they're done with the show. Yeah. Well, I think we'll wrap it there unless there's anything else that flies in at this last moment.
Hey, the little Mexicans, did the mama die?
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. She died because
I could not remember.
The car blew up because for the first time ever, her driver decided that they were just going to let the queen of the organization just roll out by herself.
That was grandma. That was grandma on Force that happened.
Isn't that what you talking about?
Nah. The Tejada cousins, the mother.
Oh, you talking about oh yeah, they gassed her.
Junior's mom.
They gassed her inside the.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, Kane did it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to search for a possible character they're going to try to, because I think that's Power's famous for doing that also, is bringing an older character who possibly was in season 1 or season 2 and trying to fulfill whatever prophecy they had in that early on by the last episode. But I can't think of, they murdered almost everyone on this show.
Yeah.
And then y'all want to talk about Monet getting killed. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
If Aunt Janet would have died, it would have been a bigger deal than Monet dying.
Yep.
Oh, you didn't ask us if Aunt Janet gonna survive. Look, see, disrespectful, Joe.
So who said that? Somebody said that?
No, man, I'll tell you didn't bring it up. You didn't ask if Aunt Janet was going to survive.
Aunt Janet back in Atlanta, getting ready for Freaknik 2024. She ain't worry about this.
Hey, that's gonna be the next Power spinoff. It's gonna be Power Atlanta.
They would like to do that, but see, the issue is that they're already doing stuff on there. BMF right now with the Atlanta scene, but I don't know. But
every rapper in the world can get a guest spot. It's gonna be nothing but them. All the ones that didn't work out on BMF, Lil Baby, Chains, T.I. You got to put T.I. on something. Somebody got to be smart enough to cast T.I. on something at this point, Joe.
Yeah,
not a dude who can actually act on one of these shows.
All right, well, that's it. We'll leave it there. We appreciate everybody coming through tonight. Again, everybody, if you're here, if you had not had an opportunity to like this button with a quick little thumbs up there, we appreciate it. But ultimately, like and subscribe and notification bell, because when we go live at the end of this week, you know exactly when and where to be, because it's going to be a show for the ages. I can guarantee you that. So it is with so much love and gratitude. We appreciate you all in the support over the last couple of weeks. It's been rough here, but it's so much fun when we get to kick back with you all. And I talk about how funny we are. You all got to tip the hat to yourselves too. Y'all be cutting up. Y'all
definitely.
I need to tell some of y'all mothers on y'all, because y'all in here just be saying anything out here. Mothers, fathers, guardians, whatever it may be, because y'all cutting up in here. Don't be pointing a finger at us, because we pointing it right back with the shenanigans y'all be saying. But yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. We appreciate you all. But we got one more to go. And when we get there, not only will we be talking about episode 10, but the future of the Power Universe, because I hope, I pray we get some announcement, some trailer, some stinger. Hell, Spider-Man better show up for all we care, but they better do something at the end of that.
Have we even gotten a Force premiere date yet?
No, they just foreshadowed the end of the year. They're shuffling their shows. They trying to figure out what they're gonna do. And again, with the success of this show and the ratings, I think they have to sort of figure out what's going to make the most sense because everything's done. So
we know what's
next. Episode 10. I don't know if it's an extended episode, but it sure as hell, baby. We don't have any information about what's happening on this 10th episode, but I only can suspect and hope and pray that it is extended, that there is a stinger and some type of indication for what is to come with the Power universe and these characters and all of that, because power never ends. So prove it. It's my statement there. That being said, man, we rolling out. We'll see y'all back at the end of the week for the finale recap review of Power Book 2 Ghosts. Appreciate y'all coming tonight. I